Hello everyone and welcome to the pitskill.io Porsche Cup sponsored by SimQuips. I'm your host Roy Waller and I'm joined in the commentary box by David Lee. Welcome David. And they can't hear you. Now they can. Welcome David.
Hello again. I'm just here for the crashes. This is going to be one of those races, I feel like.
Yeah. Bus stop, Watkins Glen, no traction control. I mean, we see people struggling with that corner in GT3 cars, which can have all manner of assists helping the drivers out. This all the way over the arse and no traction control. Going to be trying times for these drivers.
It looks like a decent sized grid tonight.
Yep, we've got 32 drivers signed up, I believe. So, yep, another well-populated Porsche Cup grid. And, well, we can see them all trying to find space at the moment in this qualifying session. As we watch Reese Tattersall, our championship leader, taking us around Toe Corner. And bring up the standings and take a look. Here we go. So you can see Reese Tattersall leading the way ahead of Johan Leff. And I don't see Leff in the grid tonight, actually. So it looks like this is going to be an opportunity for Tattersall to run away a little bit, I think.
Be a big gap opening up then tonight.
But then again, we do have some of our drivers who joined after yesterday's endurance race. So I recognise the names of Horvath and Young in there. Both drivers who finished P2 in yesterday's race. So it could be some new challengers for Tattersall's crown. We've also got, I did see Matthew Parry's name in this list. Or I might be imagining things. I did not. So we don't have Parry either. So potentially a big change up at the front. Number of drivers not present for today's Watkins Glen race. But we do have Robert Vibeck, Sam McCarthy and Chris Wright. Samuel von Liebenstein as well. So plenty of returning drivers. And, well, not to confuse you, you're not in this race, Dave. That's Doug Lee.
Fair enough.
Thought
I'd signed up and just forgotten about it.
He's not on the timing tower just yet, but his name may pop up at some point. As yet again, Tattersall setting the pace at the moment. Though von Liebenstein not far behind.
Those pretty close lap times for their first runs.
I mean, after what we saw with yesterday's qualifying, where Reese Tattersall had a 1 second march on the rest of the field, this is looking a lot closer.
Is that a special livery for this race?
So I believe a number of these drivers have got special US liveries that have carried over from Dakota.
Okay.
So, yep, obviously we've got just the 2 US rounds this season, but yeah, some drivers feeling it's worthwhile creating a livery for such. Trying to remember where the others were. There's Sam McCarthy, squarely in the top 10. He's 7 at the moment. And yeah, we've got a good number of rookies in tonight's field. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers with the rookie badge against them. Always good to see new drivers in the pit skill as, well, I'm not sure who that is. Is that Skinner? Choosing the least optimal place to park his car. On the apex of the bus stop.
Sort of out of the way, we'll call that.
We're seeing a number of yellow flags. I think just for cars going slowly at the moment. People preparing to get their flying laps in. As Sam McCarthy's going quick at the moment. Whoa! Going sideways. Whoa! Still going sideways. I'll let you into a little secret. He's not going that quick anymore.
I was going to say, that time by Wiedbeck in P2 is a nice one.
Oh wow, we've just 100th off of Tattersall, although I think that may be short-lived as Tattersall is on one hell of a lap at the moment. I think Tattersall about to find half a second here, if you can keep it together in the final 2 corners. Oh, using a little bit of the grass there. That's cost him. That's cost him quite a bit, but it's going to show to him as long as he can stay close on the delta, he's got plenty of time to gain in the final sector. Crosses the line, shaves off will shave off 2.5 tenths once he does cross the line. But 47.1 opens up that gap back to Weidbach a little bit. As we've almost got a time out of everyone. As we've got our new joiner of Carmageddon Racing, who we saw on track yesterday, Luke Tranmer. Having a race with Kevin Mulder yesterday. I think they had a little bit of a nightmare around Bathurst, but kept it into the end.
I don't think there was much left of the original car by the time the race ended.
No,
all of it had been replaced at some point.
I think the suspension budget for that race was quite high. The number of cars seen making very heavy contact with the barriers. Tranmer looking to improve. We've got a number of drivers actually going quicker and quicker throughout the session. It's going to be interesting to see which of the corners catches the drivers out here. I would have thought it would be the bus stop, but we've not seen that many yellow flags in that area.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually. So far people are keeping it pretty clean.
I'm continuing to push forward. A couple of attempts will see them jump in front of Fager. Fager, who's currently got a yellow flag out for them, just down before toe corner. And Tranmer just losing a little bit of pace there, coming sideways through the final corner. And, well, that's going to probably put pay to that lap and the next one. I suspect we'll see Luke Tranmer returning to the pits.
That looked like a pretty heavy hit.
As a solid hip check into the wall. There's John Sawyer of Porsche Canada. He's looking to improve. There's quite a bit of improvement being found down in the bottom half of the grid. Drivers towards the top maybe having peaked already. Actually, just in front of Sawyer is Kevin Mulder, the other half of Carmageddon Racing, who is running the Carmageddon Racing livery tonight. About to find half a second here on this lap. Should see them jump up as long as they keep it out of the wall, which they do so nicely. And I think you were explaining to me a little bit of the Mulder situation before we started commentary.
Yeah, like you say, had a bit of a tough time in the endurance yesterday. Went to work today, came home and fell straight asleep, and then went straight into qualifying. So he hasn't driven the car at this track before.
He's done plenty of training in the... well, I guess he's done plenty of driving in the Porsche Cup yesterday, and plenty of driving around Watkins Glen throughout this week. It has been the track of the week on Pit Skill for quite a while now. But, yeah. Whoa! That's not the way the track goes. And Balazs Fayet back to the pits after... Let's have a look, see what happened there. Oh, well, okay, they've been parked there a while. I was hoping to catch the end of that crash, but nope. It has been parked in that runoff for, well, at least the past 15 seconds. Now, a couple of drivers at the top finding their time. Roland Stricker. Couple of corners to go. This could see them jump into the 47s, along with the top 5. 47.9 puts them P6 for now. The times are starting to tumble, and I don't want to jinx it now, but we could be about to see, not too far off of a someone getting into the 46s. But I won't show that yet, just in case we do commentators curse it. But John Sawyer about to find a whole heap of time. He comes across the line up into 3rd place, just 2.5 tenths off of Reece Tattersall. And looking like these drivers getting now a bit more confident with these cars on this track. I don't think a lot of the drivers put in all that much practice for this event. But here we go. This is looking like this is going to be the lap that blows the rest out of the water. As Reece Tattersall comes across the line, what is it going to be? It is a 1:46.777. Not only dipping into the 46s, flying into them.
That's looking a bit more like the gap from yesterday.
And with the absence of a left tonight, looking like Tattersall's potentially going to be unopposed. But anything can happen at this track, especially on the first lap.
So how do we get Tattersall to do an extra stop for the fastest lap?
Well, I think in a sprint race, it might be a bit of a tall order. Actually, did he give us that pit stop for the fastest lap yesterday? I don't think he did he?
No, I don't think so.
Cheeky swine.
I think we're owed it.
We are owed a pit for the fastest lap. There's Matthias Peltzer looking to find some time in the final sector. It's all so close together at the top, other than Reece, of course. But from Vibeck down, it's looking like everyone is pretty close on pace. At least there's not that huge gap in drivers we sometimes see.
30 seconds to go in the session then.
Yep, so number of drivers now going on to their final lap, or perhaps having already done their final lap if they've got their fuel calculations wrong. Von Liebenstein stays 4th for now. And somehow, I don't believe it, but Reece Tattersall going even faster. Oh, actually, no, not... Okay, no, he's just pulled over. Well, he did. He just finished his lap with 1:46.727. Found 500.
Another half a tenth.
500ths of a second. And that is Chris Wright is the first of our drivers to see the checkered flag and starts at best P6 tonight. There's Kenny Crows, one half of the entertaining team of Sosinski and Crows yesterday. Of the, I think it was called Inter-Euro Bell Pole team. As Crows crosses the line, improves slightly up into P19, very nearly rear-ending the car in front.
I looked a bit too close for comfort.
And I think only one remaining is Lorenzon, who crosses the line and goes P24. Okay, we'll be back very soon. The green flag for tonight's race. And as we put away for the formation lap for tonight's race, on pole position we have got Reese Tattersall, followed by Weidbeck, Sawyer, Von Liebenstein, McCarthy, Wright, Young, Schricker, Peltzer and Horvath, making up our top 10 for tonight's grid. And so use the opportunity to go and have a look through some of the liveries people are running tonight. So you can see Reese Tattersall there running the Bruce livery. Although I think actually the grouping of meme liveries this was meant to be part of, I don't think I've seen on the track. Because Fish isn't driving tonight. So I'm sure, are you aware of the film Finding Nemo?
I'm aware of it, but don't know it in much detail.
So Bruce is the shark in that film, and we had a Nemo livery and we had a Dory livery. And I think the only one remaining on track now is the shoddily put together by series sponsor Chris Wright Bruce livery, which doesn't even look like a shark. It just says the word Bruce on it.
I was going to say, it just says Bruce.
Yeah.
It's not much of a shark. Though.
No. I mean, look, just the word Bruce. I mean, it's pretty lazy. On the back just says, "You're behind Bruce."
You're behind Bruce.
And then we've got a few in-game liveries. We've got Weidbeck, Sawyer, and then this masterpiece from Von Liebenstein.
Like
Very nice, sort of, probably more suited to Texas more than New York, but yeah, a very Cota-like livery. Then we've got Sam McCarthy. And Mr. Chris Wright in his standard SimQuips livery. And we've got a few more in-game liveries from Schricker. We've got Young. And then we've got Peltzer running... I can't remember which one this is. This is another one of the Quips liveries. Let's see if we can just quickly bring up the broadcast camera. Oh, okay. It doesn't tell me which one it is. I think it's SimQuips. And we've got Rabchenko. Rabchenko and Young, I think, running the same livery, so that's going to get confusing. The same livery they were running last night, but...
yeah, let's hope they're not side by side at some point.
Yeah, that will get very confusing. And we've got Luke Tranmer and Szynski. Kevin Mulder in the Carmageddon car.
Clearly the best livery on the grid.
You did make that. Got Christian Fager in the unsafety car racing. I'm going to have to go and go through these very quickly now. Eklund. This is Dackley. No relation to our commentator in the pink livery.
I like his team name though. It suits me
No
well.
practice gang, yep. Got Svoboda. We've got Crows. Bayhair. Demore. Johal. Lorenzon in the brown and black livery. Henstra. Skinner. Nitro. Katchelmeyer in the team not last, who is, well, not last because there is a car in the pit lane. But we go for our race start now. As we turn off the overlay because it goes skewy. And we are racing at Watkins Glen, and hopefully we get a nice, clean, safe lap, and nobody goes obeying that sign above the start-finish line and plastered all around this circuit. Does seem a weird advertising to have there to say "go bowling" at a racing circuit, but
yeah, they knew what they were doing.
yeah, I think you're right as well. Reese Tattersall is maybe getting a little bit too far away from the rest of the field for them to try going bowling, at least against him anyway. As the pack makes its way through the bus stop. Oh, we've got a little bit of... Oh, actually, no, one car making it nice and safely through, well, not polystyrene barriers, actually concrete barriers here at Watkins Glen. Any drivers who are used to cutting the chicane at Monza must be wary when trying to do so at Watkins Glen because they are somewhat more solid. As Sam McCarthy battling with Chris Wright coming up through tow, side by side. And, well, these two slowing each other down enough to be causing a real bottleneck to the cars behind. As Chris Wright hugs the inside line, giving McCarthy plenty of space. That looks like McCarthy has made it up into P5, and Chris Wright doing what tends to actually be quite a common thing here at Watkins Glen, is just getting yourself slightly out of position onto the wrong line, and you just get swamped by all the cars behind.
You're just out of position for every corner, it feels like, once you do it once.
Yeah, you really can't be letting someone by here. And well, we've got both of the SimQuips cars actually looking like they're being mugged as Schricker goes round the outside of Wright. Actually, Peltzer keeping himself ahead of Young behind. We've got plenty of action going on in this midfield.
Side by side behind this group, it looked like as well.
Yeah, as Suzuki looking up the inside of Tranmere, not wanting to go for it, as I think Kevin Mulder also losing out a position to Horvath. And now under pressure from Kenny Crows behind. Kenny Crows looks to the outside into a corner which is disappointingly not called ankle. As we head into the toe of the boot. And no way around the outside for Crows as Mulder holds onto that position.
Could have a good run though.
But the SimQuips drivers are battling as, well, Young goes for an optimistic dive up the inside and, well, knocks, I think that was Peltzer out of the way, allowing through Pravchenko.
That was incredibly well held by Peltzer after that hit. It looked like he was going to be spinning back across the track, but managed to hold it.
Yeah, see if we can get a replay of that one. Which numbers were they? It was Young, 129. Nope, I don't have a record of that one. Apologies, we can't go and look at that. That is all change at the
Some yellow
moment.
flags at the back of the field.
Yep, I think that is for Harold Katchelmat. Still yellow flagged at the moment. I'm not sure what's happened to him. Let's see if we can get a look at this. Oh, coming out the final corner. We've all done this before. Just a little bit too exuberant on the throttle. Yeah. And yeah, it's always a painful one there, especially trying to get it back onto the racing surface afterwards. As Kevin Mulder in amongst it, as I think that was Young. Oh no, sorry, Horvath off the circuit ahead. Suzuki going for the move up the inside. And Horvath running out wide. Plenty going on in this race. We've got yellow flags behind. Suzuki losing out to Horvath.
This midfield train is just non-stop action.
Suzuki tries to go to the inside, but Horvath covers it off to the outside now instead for Tadeusz Suzuki.
Great fighting.
And Mulder having a look as well. Is he going to try and throw it around the outside? Oh, is Horvath having a little bit of a moment, and Suzuki trying to take avoiding action, nudges into the side of Mulder, and now Mulder under pressure from Eklund. These cars all so close together in this midfield. Any small mistake from anyone, just change of positions.
So tight in there. You go for a move and get it slightly wrong, and you're going to lose 2 or 3 positions to the group behind.
And while we're watching all this action in the midfield, over up the grid, we've got a battle over P5 as Roland Schricker putting pressure onto Sam McCarthy as they head down towards the bus stop chicane. I don't think Schricker's close enough to have a look at McCarthy. goes onto the grass, manages to keep it pinned and keep it pointing in the right direction, which is impressive stuff.
It's so easy to hit a curb in the wrong way there and end up in the
Yeah,
wall.
these curbs will hook you if you're not careful. But...
And we've got yellows at the bus stop.
Oh, there's Suzuki. His car looking somewhat worse for wear. So let's see what happened here. Suzuki with the run on... I think that's on Horvath. Looks to the inside. Oh, it takes a lot of curb on the first apex and all the way across the chicane into the barrier.
That's going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's going to need some lengthy repairs to the front of that car.
Good news is no one else was taken out with him.
Yeah, almost miraculously so. As we check back in with our battle for P5. And still Schrucker not dropped back from McCarthy. Though looking like he's about to run out into the... Wow, that was close.
No paint left on that side of the car.
And the train behind still going strong. Luke Tramner looking up the inside of Horvath. This for P11.
A nice move.
Clinically done up the
And he held
inside.
it all the way up into the bus stop.
Yeah, it's just the hope that he hasn't compromised himself here. Because this is the longest straight on the circuit and so easy to just not carry as much speed as the other car out of the first corner, and you've punished all the way down the run to the bus stop. But Trammer staying at... Oh, and someone else has gone off. I think that was Peltzer of the SimQuips. Did well not to spin. As he comes into the bus stop chicane. Again, very similar to what we saw from Suzuki, but keeping it together somewhat better. And
Again, really well held.
a nice slow re-entry of the track there. Yeah, speaking from experience, that runoff area, that grass, if you try and go quickly over that, it is going to put you into orbit. So, yeah, well held and safely done by Peltzer. Rejoins the action just behind the sister car of Chris Wright. Now Chris Wright, who's put up in this battle behind Rabchenko with Christian Fager. Oh, as Fager runs very wide. Sure he'll be picking up a track cut warning for that one. And Chris Wright side by side with Fager now coming into the first corner. Is he going to try and get it done under braking? Nope. Oh, tries to turn in for an apex and takes a bit of a chunk out of the curb. But has to filter back in behind, some way off of Fager now after that suboptimal run through the first corner. What else have we got going on?
Looks like McCarthy and Schricker are just glued nose to tail at the moment.
Yeah, it's one of the things around this circuit. It's very, very easy to follow another car. And you would think with that long run out of the first corner all the way down to the bus stop that it would be so easy to make a slipstream pass. But if you just misjudge the speed through the first part of the first sector where it's so twisty, you can end up having to lift off at the wrong point and all your hard work's undone. Although it looks like McCarthy's made a small mistake here, and this could be the opportunity that Schricker's been looking for. Goes to the outside. Is he going to try and switch back on McCarthy?
Such a hard corner to make
and a twitch from McCarthy has allowed Schricker to come alongside. But as they come to the final corner, McCarthy will have the inside line as Roland Schricker tries to throw it around the outside. So that is some commitment to the move.
Racing.
And he gets it past. Roland Schricker up into P5. That was fantastic stuff from the pair of them. as Roland Stricker launches it round the outside, millimetres from the wall on exit. McCarthy giving him plenty of space, plenty of respect there. And that is great racing from the pair of them. Now check in.
It'll be interesting to see if Stricker was being held back a lot or not, whether he'll catch up to Sawyer in front.
And now there's a battle brewing over P2 as Robert Weibeck and Samuel von Liebenstein have gotten closer than they have been in quite a while. As behind we also have a battle between Christian Fager and Chris Wright. There are battles happening up and down this grid, and I'm totally here for it.
Right, gets it side by side.
Oh, not quite alongside enough to make a move into
Couldn't
tow.
quite hold it.
What a train this is, all behind Fager.
Looking back down that straight is such a nice view.
They come into the final sector. Oh, a little bit of a twitch there from Wright. I think they're all so close together, there's not really that many opportunities for any of these cars. Or at least not ones where you really want to try and commit for something. Because as you say, you put out a slipstream at the wrong point and you're going to get gobbled up. As we check from behind, the view that Christian Fager has in his rear view mirror of this snake of cars following through the first sector. Almost looks like
Peltzer could be under pressure here from Tranmere.
And Tranmere looking up the inside into the bus stop. We've not seen many people try and go side by side through the bus stop, and Peltzer thinks better of it, gives the space to Tranmere, drops back into P11 and is now under pressure from Young and Horvath. And as we feared at the start of this commentary, those cars have managed to find each other on circuit, so that's going to get super confusing. And just behind these, Kenny Crows looking round the outside of Eklund. Actually, no, sorry, I think that might have been Eklund making the move on Crows. Eklund up into P15. As we've got yellow flags out from Mikulak and Skinner. And what's happened between this pair coming through the bus stop now. Oh, and just a little bit of a clumsy coming together on the inside of the circuit.
Yeah. So one of those where you think either driver could have really avoided that.
Oh, there's Peltzer going very far off the track. This could open an opportunity for Young, sweeping it round the outside, keeping his foot pinned, but for now, not quite enough to get him alongside Peltzer.
And seeing that second to last corner, I'm surprised we haven't seen any track limits drive-throughs yet.
Yeah, so far the crowd managing to at least keep their warnings down. I'm not sure if anyone's on the edge of a penalty, as Young and Horvath were side by side there. That could have been a very interesting one to try and commentate on. These identical liveries. Oh, so we've got yellow flags out for... Right. Oh! Okay, well, let's see what's happened here, because there were yellow flags for this, but... Right, managing to keep it pointing in the right direction, and saw some dust kicked up behind him. Whoa! Okay.
Oh, now that's doing it in style.
Okay, that's one way to take the bus stop, I guess. And has perhaps put him under pressure now from Tranmere, who's looking round the inside, the outside into tow. As Chris Wright gives the Apex a wide berth there. I think Young and Peltzer have been battling. Both giving each other plenty of room. God, it's hard to believe we're still only halfway through this race. I feel like there's been like at least 2 races worth of action so far.
It just feels like we've been watching cars side by side constantly. We just keep skipping from battle to battle. They all got a fight going on for P2.
Yeah, von Liebenstein has been all over the back of Weidbeck for the past at least 5 minutes now. As Young looks up the inside of Peltzer again.
Hooks a nose in.
And other than that, none of these... Oh, as that looked like that was a very good run through the S's for Young. Has he got the pace to get alongside into the bus stop? It's going to be a risky one to go for. Nope, backs out of it. Sensible decision there from Young.
Wisely backs out of that one.
And that would have been a case of too little, too late, and yeah, would have just been a ticket for one of them into the barriers at least. But sensible racing from Young. Not quite showing the raw pace that him and Horvath did yesterday in at Bathurst, but I suspect that's just due to not having the time to practice. I think these two new to pit skill and maybe not quite aware that we were racing at Watkins Glen this week, so I expect we'll see those two with a bit more pace next Monday when we go to Imola. Young constantly looking, moving out from the slipstream to have a look, but never close enough into the corner to make a lunge.
Looks like he's just trying to tempt Peltzer into any mistake. He's just always in his mirrors.
Although a little bit of a mistake there from Young. It looked like just a little bit too eager on the throttle going through final corner. Has caused him to drop back a little bit from Peltzer, and has put him under pressure from his own teammate now, as Horvath.
It's like a good run.
Horvath's got a run here. As they come through the chicane again, no one close enough to make a move. As behind them, Kenny Crows is still on the back of Simon Eklund, and Crows getting a much better run through the bus stop. They head down into the loop. Oh, and I think Tranmo has made it past Wright, and Wright dropping a couple of positions. So what's happened to Chris Wright? Oh, out onto the grass, just going a little bit too deep, and puts it into the wall, and that's what allowed Tranmere and Heltzer through. I think Wright also losing the position to Young there as well. So Chris Wright splits the teammates of Young and Horvath. And yet again, we have another train forming.
That's what we like to see. While all this fighting's going on, Mulder's just slowly pulling onto the back of this train as well.
Yeah, this group slowing each other down, and I wonder if they're also just taking it out of their tyres a little bit, battling quite hard. I've seen a few slides from all of the drivers in this pack. We could see them becoming vulnerable towards the end of this race. As Wright appears to have a good run on Young here. Young defending the inside, Wright to the outside. Is he going to try and throw it around? As Horvath also looking to get involved. And these two, actually three, not scared to fight in close quarters.
I really held my breath. I thought that was going to end in catastrophe.
Yeah, it looked like so many... Oh, those three going into that corner at vastly different speeds to each other. I felt sure there was going to be a coming together, but they kept it clean. As Kenny Crows has made it past Simon Eklund. They come down into the downhill left-hander, which I don't know the name of. And, oh, well, just a nice move up the inside.
Yeah, really
Swept
nice.
it through. As Young has made his way past Chris Wright, or has he? Yep, I think he has. And Kevin Mulder squarely on the back of this fight as Chris Wright gets a little bit of a twitch coming out of the final corner. He's bringing Horvath right into this battle and Mulder along with him. As we've got yellow flags for Kenny Crows. Head into the first corner. Oh, Crows just skipping both wheels over the edge of the curbing, and that can spit the car right out. And Kenny Crows into the walls and now dropping substantially back from Simon Eklund. So, unfortunately losing that hard-fought position, but managed to keep himself. Oh, we've got yellow flags out for Kevin Mulder, as I think he's done what I guess we'll call a Chris Wright. I think he's just hooked the grass on the right side. Yep, almost a carbon copy of what we saw from Wright. Oh, hits the back and then the front against the wall. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with his car in the next heavy braking zone. As Dak Lee making a move up the inside. Oh, of Henstra. Henstra, who has a big snap of oversteer on the exit, and that's Dackley up into 20th position. And Wright looking to take full advantage in the slipstream. Not quite close enough to get alongside. So taking the slightly compromised line is Wright, but Young getting a snap on exit, and Chris Wright has managed to pull alongside. And actually the two of them going side by side through the S's has compromised Wright. I thought it may do, and that has allowed Horvath through. So from what looked like an attack from Wright ends up being Wright losing a position, and it's exactly what we were saying before. You just find yourself going off of line, and suddenly you're going slower than you expected, and the car behind, who can keep the racing line, just gobbles you up. Oh, as I think we may have had a coming together of Kenny Crows and Balazs Faye here. Oh, Kenny Crows getting a little bit out of sorts. And a bit of a slide. Oh, yeah, that one was just unfortunate for Faye here, I think. Crows, with that damage, not having the confidence in his car. As this trio continue to battle.
Certainly giving us plenty of action to look at.
Whoa!
There cannot be much of those tyres left by this point.
No, I mean,
A number of slides.
this circuit is going to be well and truly rubbered in by the end of this race. There's the back here just spreading out a little. Roland Schricker. Oh, we got yellow flags out for Horvath, or I'm going to guess hooked on the exit curb at turn 1. Here we go. Round through the... Oh, no.
Ooh.
Slid before he even got to the curb.
Just a bit too much power, I guess.
Yeah, perhaps. Now Horvath dropped down to P14 behind Kevin Mulder. It's all happening in this race.
Yeah, I wonder if Sawyer's made a mistake somewhere, but Stricker's closed right up on him the last lap or two.
Stricker having a look. Just over 3 minutes remaining of this race, and Stricker definitely looking like he's got the pace at this stage. Don't know if he's just kept his tyres alive more. But all over the back of Sawyer. And this is the... Oh, I think that was a little wall touch there
That
from
looked like a hit.
From Sawyer. And Sawyer will just be telling himself, just drive your lines, just drive your lines. Keep it safe, keep it together. We've only got a few laps left.
Yeah, Stricker getting a bit out of shape on the exit of turn 1 there, so Sawyer should be okay into the bus stop.
Still at this stage of the race, brave enough to cut the majority of these curbs. And I think, is this back marker traffic they're catching up to now? I think that is Szynski and is that, I think that's Johal ahead. So this could play into this battle. Let's see how quickly they can clear these back markers. And, well, not sure if Sawyer just being polite or he doesn't have his blinkers mapped, but I would be all over those blinkers right now. So they come through the final corner. Stricker attached to the back of the car ahead of him. We head on to the final lap of this race. Tattersall, well, we've not seen much of Tattersall this race. It's currently leading by 8 seconds. What happens when you're boringly fast? You don't get much airtime.
Red Bull problem.
Yeah. Maybe he's a bull shark.
Oh, he's touched the wall. Sawyer clipped the wall coming through the S's.
How is he still going faster? How do you hit the wall that hard and not lose speed?
Turns out the wall is the way to do it. I'm going to remember that for the double dash.
I think it does bear repeating that these Porsche Cup cars are made of sturdier stuff than GT3s. I think these are actually made of metal rather than carbon fibre. Might be wrong, but I believe so. As I think Tranmere's just made it past Fager. How was this move made? Oh, to the outside at the bus stop. Nicely done by Tranmere. And unfortunately, we're going to have to go and see this because we've got yellow flags for Stricker. So Stricker's tried to throw it around the outside of Sawyer. Got his nose ahead and then just taking the surprising line through tow, and that is that battle over as Rhys Tattersall comes around the final corner to take the checkered flag here at Watkins Glen and takes the win.
That is going to do wonders for his championship lead.
Oh wow, yeah. As Robert Vibet brings it home in P2, followed incredibly closely by John Sawyer. And then, by Von Liebenstein.
I see a car clout in the wall in the background.
John Sawyer finishing in P4 And in P5 is Sam McCarthy, who, after an early battle, had a bit of an uneventful race. P6 is Rabchenko. And, P7 is Fager, followed by Tremor, Peltzer, Young, Wright, and Schricker. And is Schricker out of fuel? He is!
He's out of fuel.
Roland Schricker, the driver who was battling over P2, had a spin and then runs out of fuel. And Tadeusz Szynski, being ever the sportsman, pushing him over the line. Behind Schricker was Kevin Mulder, followed by Horvath, Eklund, Fahir, Lorenzon. And then close together were Henstra and Kroos, after Kroos' incident earlier. And behind them we have got Florent de Moor, Gregor Michalak, and Dak Lee.
That car looks broken.
Yeah, that looks pretty broken. Not sure, we didn't see what happened to Lee, but it doesn't look the healthiest of cars. And finally, coming round the final corner to cross the line will be Nitro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. This has been the pitskill.io Porsche Cup, sponsored by SimQuips. Thank you very much for joining me, Dave. It was good to have you in the commentary box.
It was great fun. That was a fun race.
Yeah, I'm more tired than I would be if I'd raced in this one, I think. Commentating on that. And no, that's a lie. That looked manic. I'm sure these drivers are exhausted. But right now, we now in Pitskill do have a new format of race. The late double dashes starting at 9:15 UK time, so in 45 minutes. So if you feel so inclined, do head on over to pitskill.io and get yourself signed up for that. I will be doing so myself. And we'll be back next Monday when the Porsche Cup heads to Imola. Until then, have a very lovely rest of your day. Goodbye.